So difficult.
Excuse me, Niles, but I've got news for you. Copernicus called, and you are not the center of the universe.
I love democracy. I love the Republic.
The main thing is to protect these characters, make sure that they still continue to live in the way that you created them, and that the universe of Star Wars continues to grow.
Good morning, everybody. This morning I woke up to see Kathleen Kennedy is attached as a producer of this movie I've never even heard being made called Light of the Jedi, which is the same name of a novel written by Charles Soule. It's the first novel in the High Republic. It's on IMDb. Now, if you remember, the problem with IMDb is that anybody can go on there and put something on there that isn't necessarily true. Trust me, I sent this entry to Bob Iger. And here's the Lando thing. Now, the Lando thing's picked up steam because Donald Glover can't keep his fucking mouth shut, and he really obviously needs the work. And he's begging Disney to give him the money and the go-ahead to make this, I guess, now a movie. The problem with this is A, the writer's strike, which I think is probably going to be resolved soon, but B, Disney does not have anything on their official development calendar, and these things are literally listed as in production. So part of me says it's someone screwing around, hoping to get Disney, again, look, the strategy's worked in some ways before, at least to get fan attention, and I think this is probably what it is. But we also have to remember that there was a rumor out there by Doomcock and others that Kennedy wanted to have a deal where she had 4 production titles on 4 different movies coming out of Lucasfilm, even if she stepped down as president. So I don't know what to think about this. I think part of me, this is grounded monkey screwing around, but I also think it's probably there might be an agreement already reached for her to step down. All right, I'm not kidding either. Okay. But putting these movies in production when everything's going on with the strikes is just stupid. Now here's the house she has for sale, the Malibu show place. They had it at $18.9 million, and now they dropped it, or $18.5 million. Now they dropped it almost $2 million to $16.9 million. This is a negotiation price. And look, when a listing sits too long, trust me, I know this, on the real estate websites, it starts to get stale. Okay, and they might have had a buyer come, but the buyer didn't meet the price they wanted, so they had to come down. Okay, and I expect them, this is my opinion, I expect these 2 clowns to come down another $2 million, because if looking at the size of the house, where it is, and the real estate around it, and the property, I would say that's probably they could probably sell it for $14 million. They're not going to get $16.9 million either, but this is starting to get realistic. Realistic would be if they listed it for $15.9 million. Okay, so what is going on? Well, we haven't heard a lot about her issues going on as far as Lucasfilm. I have no reason to believe that she's got any power there. Obviously with Ahsoka, she's not part of that, or Grand Admiral Thrawn would have been blackwashed or some weird stuff, or gay, or, you'd have some sort of lesbian love affair between Ahsoka and Sabine. That would be something she would do or insist on. It would be stupid. I mean, look, and it's obviously a Kennedy or a Favreau Filoni venture. Okay, so what we have is her name suddenly appearing on production lists, which of movies that are not in development. But we also have the public stuff, The House, and Steven Spielberg's social hit on Kennedy, which was spectacular. A lot of people want to believe he didn't mean it, but he meant it. That's what this says. Let's watch it again.
There are three indispensable people without whom none of us would be here tonight. And that starts with the person who created Indiana Jones, George Lucas. The person who is Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. And the person who is the glue to all five of these films that gave us all of our rhythm and all of our melody, the great maestro, John Williams.
Let's talk about the rumors for Kennedy and what's been going on with her. So first off, Sparrow basically said she came in one day, no one knew she was there, and I don't know what it was about, but she was brought in with a minder and then left secretly with that, and the minder took her to the gate and dropped her off. Okay, she's not allowed on the campus. I believe that. Okay, there's no reason, really no reason not to. Let's talk about the reality of the situation and not narcissistic black pill bullshit. The last three movies that Lucasfilm made lost money, a lot of money for Disney. Okay, again, this doesn't have anything to do with the mythology of her being the most powerful woman in Hollywood. Okay, she's not. Steven Spielberg's social hit basically proved it. This has everything to do with the fact that she lost money. Last three movies lost money for Disney, that she's basically been kind of a spoiled brat, considering the fact who her boss is, and challenging him. And, so what we know is that she's not allowed on campus. She has to write reports and read scripts. Then there's also the agreement we've been told happened, or that she wanted, where she would have producer credits on 4 movies. Okay, again, the thing I find interesting about this IMDb thing is that the title is producer, not executive producer, which makes me think it might be a grounded monkey or somebody like Jason Ward doing her bidding. Okay, they know she's done. Okay, they know that it's over. You can tell by the behavior of Pablo Hidalgo that it's over for her.
Oh, she's horrible. I've made a ghastly mistake. But one more crooked word. Your tongue could open a wine bottle.
Not an agent. It's not like she worships the devil.
Well, she doesn't have to. He worships her.
Don't you just love Frasier? But to me, it just looks like this is somebody screwing around, because it says these shows are in production and they're not. Look, the writer's strike, they can't be in production. Okay? With the actor's strike, they can't be in production. So obviously, look, If you're actually going to do something and try to make people believe something that isn't true, when you try to follow what the public knows before putting your name out there or putting information out there, with the writer's strike going, no productions can go forward, at least in the United States, unless the Guild sanctions them to go forward. So putting these on production, I kind of look at whoever posted this going, you're really kind of stupid. Okay, you'd have to be a special kind of stupid to think it's true. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The black pills, and I'm going to do a video on how the fandom got to where it got. The black pills will believe it. Okay, they will believe this shit. They will not look at this critically going, what the fuck? They will believe it because it fits their narrative. This is not critical thinking. Okay, critical thinking is they can't be in production because of the writers and actors strike. Okay, they can say they're in development and they could be pre-production, which could last eternity. And when I look at Light of the Jedi, there's absolutely no fucking reason in the world why Disney would ever give money to Lucasfilm to make it, because the High Republic is a joke. If you go on to, what is it called, bookscan.com, look and see how many books those books have sold. Is that a place where you want to take the franchise? I mean, these are questions that need, look, stop being emotional, put your hate mask down, and start thinking critically, because this is where you have to be right now. Disney is not doing well as far as their stock price. Iger is in the middle of trying to figure out how to end the writer's strike. But even then, Disney has not announced any new productions. Okay? The only thing we know for sure that Lucasfilm has on its plate is Heir to the Empire under Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. That's it. Nobody else wants, nothing else. Okay, so are these figments of Kennedy's imagination? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go there. Yes. And the reason why I say that is because that is the only way this makes any sense. Okay, unless now, let's go back to the rumor about her wanting 4 movie credits or 4 credits on whatever productions that Lucasfilm is putting out there, even if she's not running it. So that could be part of it. I mean, but you gotta look at what we know. Steven Spielberg turns her into sushi, her and her husband into, curb-stomped cockroaches in front of everybody, and the excuse is he forgot they were there. They were standing right there, all right? Harrison Ford didn't, because he was looking right at him. She basically was hiding behind George Lucas, using him as a crash helmet. Of course Spielberg knew she was there. They talked before they actually sat down to watch the movie. So yes, he knew she was there. And the look on, the problem with black pills saying stupid shit like this is these are people who've never actually been in a company environment, in a corporate C-suite or C-suite political environment. Okay? This is political maneuvering. This was a social hit job by the king of Hollywood. Okay? All right, he's basically telling everybody she's finished. She's done, without having to say it. Okay, and why should he have to say it? These are questions that I think everybody needs to answer for themselves because, hey, but as far as that goes, anytime someone says he didn't realize she was there, just look at him and go, what kind of fucking weed are you smoking? Because I want some. Okay? But it fits their narrative. What doesn't fit their narrative is Steven Spielberg walking in and basically saying, Kathy, it's over, which is what he did. Okay, now they're selling their house. When you put everything that Sparrow has told everybody, Sparrow has told Kamran, that what we know in public, the social hit on her by Spielberg himself, selling the house, dropping the price, makes sense. Now, she could have had someone go on to IMDb, and that weird account that was put up there by, I think Jason Ward is still up there. So I do think that he's probably still working for her. He might have put this out there. And you got to remember, IMDb, if you have a paid account like I do, I can go on to IMDb and change things. Okay? I can go on IMDb and change anything. All right? And that's what I think is going on. Again, does she have an agreement with Disney? I don't know. Okay? Is she allowing her name to be used in some sort of propaganda effort? She's done it before. Okay, I don't know. But don't take anything on IMDb seriously, because remember what they did, what happened with the Book of Boba Fett. They had Harrison Ford listed on there, and then they took it off. Okay? They took it off. Why? Because they weren't going to have him on. The ending wasn't good enough to bring that character in. Okay? So I just wanted you guys to keep your heads up and be very skeptical of anything you see about Kennedy in the fan pages like Screen Rant, comic book resources, etc., and be skeptical of what Black Pills say. Okay? Because I don't really know what any of that means beyond the fact we know she's done in some way or another because of Spielberg. And that's what we know publicly. Okay? So keep your heads up. This is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.